Hey Yogi, welcome to day 12 of the 30-day yoga challenge for beginners. Today we will be tapping into the throat chakra, and our affirmation is, it is safe to use my voice. So it's always a good idea to practice things on your mat so that you can take them off your mat where it's a little bit more intimidating out there in the outside world. So your mat is a safe place where you can start to experiment with all these kind of new ideas so that you can start incorporating them into your everyday life. For today's practice, you'll want 2 blocks because we will be working towards a pose called Camel or Ustrasana. All right, Yogi, I'm really looking forward to working on the throat chakra today with you. Again, this is the center of communication. It's the center of being able to listen well, to be able to get your point across, to be able to speak your truth. All right, let's meet up on the mat. Start on your mat in easy seated pose or sukhasana. Cross the legs and pull the feet in towards the body. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones so that the pelvis is neutral, front hip bones level to the back hip bones, and lift the entire rib cage up away from the pelvis to lengthen the spine. Relax the shoulders and reach the back of the crown of the head up towards the sky. Have your palms turned down onto your knees. Close your eyes and start to breathe here. Start to notice your breath. Notice if you're breathing deep or shallow, fast or slow, smooth or choppy, without judgment, just notice. And then start deepening the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose if that feels okay. Relaxing the face. On your inhale, expanding the belly, ribs, chest, all the way up. On your exhale, soften all the way down. And circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. On your inhale, think, it is safe. Exhale, to use my voice. Inhale, it is safe. Exhale, to use my voice. Let's do 3 ohms to set that affirmation as our intention for our practice today. Take a deep breath in. It is safe to use my voice. And then bring the hands back down to the knees and let your head hang without letting the shoulders roll forward, stretching the neck. Roll the head to one side, gently draw the opposite shoulder down. And forward and to the other side. Draw the other shoulder down. And again, forward into the first side, forward into the second side. Once more. Good, now just let the head hang back down to center. And then start to lift the head and just reach the chin up. And then down. You can have your eyes opened if that makes you a little bit dizzy. And then reach the chin up. Not compressing the neck, not dropping the head back, just reach. And then reach the chin towards the chest. And then bring it back to center. Open your eyes if they're not open yet. And bring your hands to your knees if they weren't there. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Reach the chin up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Inhale, look up, arch. Exhale, round. Pull on the knees, stretching the shoulders. Inhale, look up, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round. 2 more. Work with your breath. And come back to neutral. All right, now make your way onto your hands and knees. Wrists directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips. As you inhale, start to look out, doing cat-cow again here. Arch the back. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, reach the chin. Exhale, round, chin to chest. 1 more. Good, and come back to center. All right, so now what we'll do is some circles here with our hips and our ribs. So I want you to pretend like you have a crayon or a marker attached to your tailbone, and you want to try to draw a circle on the wall behind you. So it's kind of like what we just did, but we'll do it in a circle. So you'll arch the back and then round the hip. And then you'll come into an arch, and then you'll come into a round. And then go the other way. Make sure you're breathing. In and out through the nose. 1 more. And then come back to neutral. All right, now curl your toes under and just sit back. You can either sit onto the heels or stand tall on the knees. Bring the backs of the hands together, just a gentle wrist stretch. You can do this anytime you need to as you practice. And then move the wrists around, some circles in each direction. And come into downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Push into the knuckles, roll the shoulders away from each other, roll the forearms in. Walk the dog, just waking up the backs of the legs. So put one heel down and then the other heel down. One heel down and the other heel down. Nice and slow. Full stretch. And then walk your feet forward towards your hands. Bring your feet as wide as your mat and turn your toes in slightly. Hands to your shins. Inhale, reach the heart up. Interlace your hands behind your back. Exhale, fold with bent knees. See if you can try to lift your arms just off of your back slightly or overhead. It doesn't matter. Just feel a stretch. Ground down into the feet. Look out in front of you. And then inhale, come up with a flat back, nice and slow. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now I tend to get a little bit dizzy when I come up, so if you do too, just ground down into the feet. Once you get up, find a gazing point and breathe. Bring the feet together, coming into Tadasana at the top of the mat. Arms by the sides, lengthen the spine, reach the back of the crown of the head up. Breathe here. It is safe to use my voice. Just repeat that affirmation. Inhale, it is safe. Exhale to use my voice. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees so you can tip the pelvis. Remember, you don't need to touch the ground. Inhale, halfway up to your monkey pose. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Exhale, step back to plank. Top of a push-up. Inhale, push the chest forward so the shoulders are past the wrists, knees down. Exhale, lower down, squeeze the elbows into the sides. Uncurl the toes, hands are beside the chest, not under the shoulders. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, come down. Now interlace your hands behind your back if that's possible. Inhale, reach your arm or reach your chest up and the arms off the back. Exhale down. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. One more, inhale. And exhale. Hands back by the chest, curl the toes under. Inhale, push up to modified plank or regular plank in a straight line. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Remember, the heels do not need to be on the ground. Usually when that happens, people round the back. So it's more important to tip the pelvis forward so the tailbone's pointing up and the spine is straight. Now walk the feet forward. Back to your Tadasana feet, standing mountain pose feet. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down, look out. Inhale, lead with the back of the head as you rise up, palms touch. Exhale, arms down by the sides. Find your gazing point. It is safe to use my voice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey. Exhale, step back with your non-dominant foot, plank. Inhale, push forward. Knees down, exhale, lower down. Now interlace your hands your non-dominant way, uncurl the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, down. Again, inhale, lift. So we're keeping the feet on the ground. Exhale, down. One more. And down, and come on to the forearms for Sphinx pose. Toenails pushing into the mat, draw the chest forward and up, and push into the elbows, shoulders back. Tuck the chin slightly to lengthen the neck. Now fold the left forearm in just for more stability. Bend the right leg. Reach back. You can either try to grab your pants, grab your foot, grab what you can. If you can grab your ankle, flex your foot. You might need to bring your knees apart to make the grab and then bring the knees back towards each other. Stretching the quad, warming up the hip flexor. If you need more of a stretch, forehead to the forearm, tuck the tailbone. Bringing the pelvis into neutral. And come back to Sphinx. Breathe here. Make sure not to dump down. Push, push, push into the elbows. Bend the right forearm in. Reach back. Grab the left foot, whatever you can. Sometimes you don't even need to grab if you already feel a stretch. If you need more, forehead to the forearm. Lengthen the tailbone. Release, come back to Sphinx. Breathe. Draw the chest forward and up. Lengthen the tailbone. This helps to protect the lower back when you don't dump into the low back. Instead, reach the tailbone back as you draw the chest forward. All right, lower down, hands beside the chest, curl the toes under. Push up to your modified plank and grab your blocks. Now, curl the toes under and stand tall on the knees. And bring your blocks back on either side of the feet. Pelvis into neutral. Okay, so what we're going to do is move into camel pose. What tends to happen is people come back like this so that they can bring their hands to the blocks or the heels. I want you to keep the hips right above the knees. A good way to test this is to actually move up to the wall. So a wall would be right here in front of you and you keep your pelvis on the wall. Lengthen the tailbone down, again, neutral pelvis. So we're not bending at all from the low back. Think like you have a corset on your low back here and you're bending from the mid and upper back. So inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, bring the right hand to the right block. Try to keep the hips right above the knees. Now, if that's not possible, you can just bring both hands here to the pelvis and kind of push the pelvis down so the tailbone stays down and just look up. If that feels okay, then one hand to the block, right hand to the block. I like to keep my chin tucked in this pose a little bit because it feels better for my neck. If it feels good to let your head hang back, you can do that. Now use your abs and support your back as you inhale, come up, uncurl the toes, and sit back. If that doesn't feel good, you can spread your feet apart and sit on 1 or 2 blocks. And breathe. It's safe to use my voice. Okay, come back up onto the knees. Curl the toes under. So if you did the first variation, just do that again. Otherwise, we'll go to the other side. Lengthen the tailbone. Inhale, big shoulder roll, lift the chest. Exhale, left hand to the left block or just hands onto the pelvis. Keep the hips right above the knees. You can keep the chin tucked slightly or let the head gently hang back. Make sure you're breathing. Use your abs. Slowly come up, inhale. Uncurl the toes. Exhale, sit back. Again on 1 or 2 blocks or seated on the heels. This is called Vajrasana, sitting like this on the heels. It's called Virasana if your feet are apart, sitting on the blocks. It is safe to use my voice. Okay, now make your way onto your hands and knees, or sorry, to seated from hands and knees. And extend your legs out into a wide leg stance. Now remember, anytime you're in a seated pose, you can sit up onto a block, that would be fine, or a bolster, so that we can start tipping the pelvis forward, or at least so that the pelvis is neutral. Now turn out over your right foot or your right leg, push into the heel and the ball of both feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, start to tilt the pelvis forward to lower you down instead of rounding the back. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, tilt. If it's impossible for you to do that without rounding the back, come onto a block. You really want to keep the spine long, especially the low back. That's where most of the back injuries are and the surgeries is the low back. So we want to keep it nice and long. Think about reaching your chest towards your big toe. Also here, really keep your pelvis rooted. Sometimes this opposite leg starts to lift up. Come back to center, inhale. Lengthen, exhale, twist out over your left leg. Inhale, big shoulder roll. Exhale, tilt the pelvis. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tilt. And draw the chest towards the big toe. Slowly come up, inhale. Exhale, turn towards the front, hands down in the center. Inhale, big shoulder roll, lengthen. Exhale, tilt the pelvis. Try to keep the toes pointing up. My feet, especially since I'm pigeon-toed, always want to come in. So try to keep them up. Try not to let them fall back if that's the way your legs tend to go. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tilt. Tuck the chin slightly, breathe. And take some cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe you even sigh, because the more we use our voice on our mat, the easier it's going to be for you to use your voice off of the mat. So practice it here when you're in the safety of your own home. One more. And then slowly come up and grab the outside of the legs, bring them in. And then lay slowly all the way down onto your back and bring both knees in towards your chest for Apanasana, double knee hug. And just rock a little bit from side to side. Extend the legs out, arms by the sides, feet about as wide as the mat. Hands off the mat, shoulders away from the ears. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Couple more cleansing breaths, just to be safe. The face relax. It is safe to use my voice. Repeat that with your deep breathing, about 3 rounds, and then just let it go. Let go of control of the breath, of controlling the mind, and just relax. Let the outer body soften more and more with each exhale. Start deepening your breath. Bring some movement back to the body. Wrists and ankles, fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead and your feet in the opposite direction for a full body stretch. And then roll onto your right hand side using your right arm for a pillow. Slowly, with the strength of your arms, push yourself up to seated. Head is the last thing to come up, coming into easy seated pose, Sukhasana. Put your non-dominant leg in front. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Sit up tall, lengthen the spine. Come back to your breath. It is safe to use my voice. Circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. Thumbs gently touching your heart center. 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. And then bow your head, bring your thumbs from your heart center up to your third eye, acknowledging the energy that's within you, around you, connects us all together and never goes away. That energy within me acknowledges the energy within you, and I thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice today. Namaste.